The hilarious precautions Batman Returns crew took against Christopher Walken. In an interview, Mickey Rourke, a fellow actor, said of Christopher Walken, "You've always evoked the impression that you originated from another planet. You possessed an air of extraterrestrial qualities." Although this is the most apt description that's been proposed for Walken's distinctive on-screen persona, it should not come as much of a surprise that his off-screen persona is not all that dissimilar. Numerous former co-stars of Christopher Walken have shared their personal experiences of working with the eccentric actor, and suffice it to say that things got even stranger than you might expect. Walken pretends it's his birthday when it's not. Maggie Q, who co-starred with Walken in Balls of Fury, disclosed in an Ask Me Anything on Reddit that pretending to be his birthday is amusing to Walken. She composed, "Because he demands that everyone croon to him and buy him a cake on his birthday, which is never the case." Q, entertained, continued, "Therefore, I approached him on set and informed him that it was not his birthday. He laughed like a child." He thinks of himself as a performer, not an actor. Walken, intriguingly, does not consider himself an actor. In 2012, he stated to The Guardian, "I'm never in character." He elaborated, "It's always myself, regardless of the character I'm portraying," and further stated, "There are renowned performers who can transform themselves, but I'm not one of them. A fundamental distinction exists between an actor and a performer. In essence, I'm a performer." The genius Robert De Niro helped him nail a deer hunter scene. Walken revealed to the publication Total Film that an acting prodigy assisted him in delivering a challenging scenario in The Deer Hunter. "By implementing his recommendation, I realized that the scene would become one of the most outstanding in the entire film," he disclosed. "This is the characteristic of a savant such as Robert De Niro, not an ordinary craftsman like myself. We can learn so much from observing visionaries at work, even if we never attain their level of achievement," he continued. He loves the brutal honesty of Hollywood. Is it true that Hollywood's a severe competitive environment? Such is the reason why horror stories abound. But Walken holds a different viewpoint. "Well, I've always considered it to be an honest place," he said to The Guardian. "They either desire your services for a role or do not. It's quite straightforward. While there is a common perception that Hollywood is an environment devoid of straightforward answers, my personal experience has shown me otherwise." He's given a cell phone on movie sets but doesn't know how to use one. It's no secret that Walken is a technophobe. He's never even used a computer or sent an email. In addition, he does not own a cell phone, except in instances where studios provide one to him during productions. He chuckled to Stephen Colbert, "They will occasionally give me a mobile phone for a movie, but it's primarily for them to locate me, comparable to a monitoring collar. It's the kind of device where someone else must dial it for me if I wish to use it." Working with younger actors may have softened his view on technology. Recently, Walken may have come to appreciate the advantages of technology. During a conversation with his adolescent co-star in The Outlaws, he made references to Clifton Webb, an elderly actor. Despite their lack of familiarity with him, each of them managed to locate him via their devices. Walken exclaimed in disbelief to the website Chortle, "It was incredible. I resolved, I must acquire one of those mobile phones immediately. I wanted to be called Flash on the Mouse Hunt set, but no one knew why." Walken is the man to contact if you need someone to portray an eccentric exterminator who attempts to enter a mouse's psyche in order to capture it. According to his alleged response to an assistant director's inquiry regarding his preferred method of being recognized on set, his portrayal of Caesar in Mouse Hunt is absurdly ingenious. It's said that Walken replied, "You may refer to me as Flash." He thinks learning lines is the worst thing about his job. When The Guardian asked Walken what the most frustrating aspect of his job was, he immediately gave a comedic response. "Certainly learning patterns," he said. "How does one acquire their lines so rapidly? For me, it's always been a monotonous and excruciating duty. I abhor it. I require an enormous amount of time to learn my lines. All I want to do is watch movies using cue cards." When Adam Sandler tried to give Walken rewrites, he said, "Nope." During a promotional appearance for Click on Friday night with Jonathan Ross, Adam Sandler revealed that Walken dislikes rewriting dialogue. According to Sandler, Walken responded to the introduction of new lines by saying, "I've already memorized it." Subsequently, Walken responded once more, "However, that's already been memorized." And Sandler proceeded to compose his own dialogue. It's futile to attempt to alter the man's lines, as he's already averse to learning them. His comfort of strangers' characters actually disturbed him. Although Walken has a reputation for portraying antagonists, only one has truly penetrated his integrity. He disclosed to The Guardian that overcoming Robert, the menacing stalker he portrayed in The Comfort of Strangers in 1990, was difficult. The celebrity acknowledged, "That individual affected me. I was unable to determine the reason, but he did. I didn't want him lingering around, and I was unable to get clear of him for a while after the film concluded." He said he had a great time on the Stepford Wives, despite rumors of a troubled production. Rumors of animosity circulated regarding the Stepford Wives involving Walken, co-stars Nicole Kidman and Glenn Close, and director Frank Oz. However, Walken claimed that he thoroughly enjoyed himself and that the allegations were completely unfounded. He told Total Film, "Every day was essentially a playground with all those incredible actors. I would love to make another film with that entire group," he continued. As he's aged, he's realized he never wants to make another movie on location. Walken disclosed to Interview magazine in 2016 that filming outdoors in adverse weather conditions no longer interests him. Conversely, he finds great satisfaction in operating indoor stages. He stated, "I have no desire to visit certain locations. Producing films atop mountains and in the desert, with sequences being filmed as cold river torrents pass by, the jungle in fact, extremely uncomfortable. I desire to develop films using a soundstage." Stephen Merchant eating his omelet was key to Walken signing up for The Outlaws. In order to persuade Christopher Walken to participate in The Outlaws, a film set in Bristol, England, producer Stephen Merchant traveled to Walken's residence in Connecticut. Merchant remarked to Chortle, "Among the initial inquiries he made, could you please partake in a portion of this omelet? He had prepared an omelet which caught me off guard. It was subsequently mentioned in an interview that he consented to do the program in part because I ate it." He doesn't like his performance in King of New York, despite it being acclaimed. Frank White, the cocaine kingpin and King of New York, is one of Walken's most recognizable characters. However, he believes he dropped the ball. "I erred, although I ought to have been my finest achievement, it was not," he told Total Film. "Having viewed the film only twice, I concluded that Frank lacked sufficient depth and perspective. Had I been given another opportunity to portray him, I would have drastically altered my performance," he continued. Crew's work. While filming Batman Returns, the crew found themselves hilariously adapting to the eccentricities of Christopher Walken, known for his unique and unpredictable behavior on set. To accommodate Walken's unconventional style, the production team took a series of amusing precautions. One memorable measure involved placing caution signs around the set with humorous warnings such as "Beware, Walken ahead, approach with dance moves ready," or "Caution, Christopher Walken zone, expect spontaneous monologues." These lighthearted efforts not only showcased the crew's ability to roll with the punches, but also fostered a positive and playful atmosphere on set. Walken, renowned for his deadpan delivery and quirky charm, likely appreciated the good-natured jests, adding an extra layer of humor to the behind-the-scenes dynamics of the iconic superhero film. Walken went to extreme lengths to lose weight for The Deer Hunter. In The Deer Hunter, Walken garnered the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for his performance as the physically and emotionally shattered Vietnam veteran Nick Chevaterich. According to reports, he endured a week-long fast on water, rice, and bananas in order to attain the emaciated appearance he displayed in the film's concluding scene. Clearly, the physical exertion paid off in this instance. Walken's hyperventilating improv made Leo panic. During an emotive sequence, Leonardo DiCaprio disclosed in a 2002 interview with the website IGN that he could sense apprehension mounting whenever Christopher Walken hyperventilated. Although it was merely an improvisation by the seasoned actor, DiCaprio was completely convinced it was authentic. He chuckled and stated, "At the moment, I was convinced that the individual in front of me was experiencing a myocardial infarction. I was thinking, 'cut,' with all sincerity for about 2 seconds. Something appears to be amiss with Chris. Keir O'Donnell said Walken gave him a ride for Wedding Crashers. Keir O'Donnell, who portrayed Walken's son in Wedding Crashers, revealed to Mel magazine that Walken insisted his chauffeur transport them both to set daily at the same time, simulating the dynamic between a biological father and son. Even though we never exchanged a word, I am still uncertain as to whether he was merely amusing himself or whether he enjoyed our company. O'Donnell chuckled. Regardless, it was an unforgettable experience for me. Quentin Tarantino was shocked that Walken performed his dialogue verbatim in True Romance. An iconic sequence from True Romance features Walken and Dennis Hopper. The screenwriter, Quentin Tarantino, was astounded that Walken had memorized and recited his entire line of dialogue. I found it nearly intimidating that an actor of his caliber would take my work to such an extreme degree seriously. Never fabricate anything, never oversimplify anything. Simply state each so, the, oh, and they. He completed every single one, and the outcome was truly remarkable. He steals all his clothes from movie sets. In 2010, Walken attended an interview with The Independent, donning the jacket that embodied his character from The Comfort of Strangers. It was a truly unique garment. He then confessed indignantly, "I never purchase clothing. When I appear in a film, I always wear attire from the set. They give me nothing." He jokingly admitted that the Batman Returns crew had removed everything from his dressing room prior to his having the opportunity to retrieve it. He's a big fan of his performance in Puss in Boots. Walken performed the role of a humanoid ginger cat in a musical adaptation of Puss in Boots in 1988. For the role, he even colored his tresses crimson. He told the publication Entertainment Weekly in 2014, "I thought I was quite excellent as the cat." He subsequently disclosed that he and the cat actor were companions. "The cat they utilized resided in my Airstream with me. He would use the bed to slumber.